You won't believe the destinations where black travelers are running into unexpected difficulties. Welcome to World Revealed. In today's video, we're diving into something every black traveler should know before planning their next trip. We're counting down the top 10 countries where black people are not welcomed. From hidden prejudices to open discrimination, there are places that can make black travelers feel anything but safe. When traveling to new cultures, you might expect warmth and hospitality, but for many black travelers, the reality can be very different. This video isn't just about subtle bias or uncomfortable stares. We're talking about serious racial tension, anti-black attitudes, and even destinations where travel warnings for black people are necessary. If you've ever wondered which countries have hostile environments or where black travelers are more likely to experience racism, you're in the right place. We'll also share insight into which countries black people may want to avoid and what you should know to stay safe while traveling abroad. Trust me, you'll want to watch this entire list. It may completely change how you plan your future trips. So sit back, relax, and prepare for some uncomfortable truths. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss important travel tips. Number 1. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is widely known for its wealth and rich history, but when it comes to welcoming black people, the experience can be very different. Reports show that 70% of labor disputes in the country involve black workers, many of whom come from African nations as part of the migrant labor force. The kingdom has faced global criticism for its treatment of black laborers, who often endure harsh working conditions and widespread racial discrimination. While Saudi Arabia's strict cultural laws can be difficult for many foreigners, black travelers often find the experience even more uncomfortable. Racial bias doesn't only affect migrant workers, it extends to black visitors and expatriates as well. Many report being treated with suspicion or outright hostility in public spaces, turning simple activities like shopping or dining into stressful experiences. And then there are the stares, the unmistakable, "I've never seen someone like you before," looks that black visitors say are extremely common. Saudi Arabia's treatment of black people isn't just a modern issue. Historical racial hierarchies shaped by the slave trade and long-standing cultural norms still influence society today. While some progress has been made, deep-rooted systemic problems remain. For many black travelers, this makes Saudi Arabia a destination to approach with caution. Number 2. Japan. Japan is famous for advanced technology, world-class cuisine, and cherry blossoms, but when it comes to diversity, it still has a long way to go. Around 45% of black expatriates in Japan report experiencing racial bias. From being stared at on public transportation to feeling excluded in social settings, subtle discrimination is common. Japan's lack of racial diversity often makes it difficult for black travelers to feel truly welcome, which is why it frequently appears on lists of countries black people may want to avoid. Japanese media also plays a role. Negative stereotypes of black people still appear in television, advertising, and cartoons. Blackface, shockingly, is still used in some forms of media, reinforcing outdated and offensive ideas. Historically, Japan has been a largely homogeneous society. Although it is slowly opening up, acceptance of racial diversity remains limited. For black travelers, this can mean frequent microaggressions or even direct racism while shopping, dining, or visiting famous attractions. Japan offers incredible landmarks and innovation, but its racial challenges make travel more complicated for black visitors. Anyone planning a trip should be prepared for more than just a language barrier. Number 3. India. India's vibrant culture, deep history, and iconic landmarks make it a dream destination for many travelers. However, black visitors often face serious challenges. Colorism is deeply ingrained, and about 62% of black expatriates report experiencing racial discrimination. Black travelers frequently encounter uncomfortable stares, unwelcoming comments, and sometimes worse. These attitudes stem from colonial-era beliefs where lighter skin was associated with higher status, ideas that still persist today. Walking through markets or visiting landmarks like the Taj Mahal, black travelers often feel like spectacles. Many report being stared at intensely by locals who may have never seen a black person before. Beyond stares, some black visitors are treated with suspicion or even denied service. While India's diversity attracts millions, its difficulty accepting darker skin tones places it firmly among countries black people may want to avoid. Number 4. South Korea. South Korea is known for K-pop, advanced technology, and vibrant nightlife, but it remains a highly homogeneous society. For black travelers, standing out is unavoidable and often uncomfortable. About 55% of black expatriates in South Korea report racial discrimination, including being refused taxis or subjected to constant staring. South Korean media has historically portrayed black people through negative stereotypes, reinforcing social prejudice. Although South Korea is becoming more global, old attitudes remain. Black travelers often describe feeling isolated even during routine activities like grocery shopping or sightseeing. Despite its many attractions, racial bias continues to make South Korea one of the countries where black people may feel unwelcome. Number 5. Israel. Israel is often admired for its deep religious history and cultural significance, but for black travelers, the experience can be far more complicated. Racial and ethnic tensions in the country have created an environment that many black visitors find uncomfortable and unwelcoming. In 2023, reported racial incidents targeting African immigrants increased by nearly 30%, highlighting the growing challenges black individuals face. Many black travelers say they are frequently viewed with suspicion, whether they are walking through neighborhoods, entering stores, or using public transportation. Discrimination doesn't stop at social interactions. Black people in Israel, especially those of African descent, report facing institutional barriers in housing, employment, and access to services. These issues go beyond awkward stares and turn everyday life into a series of obstacles. The tension between ethnic groups in Israel has existed for decades, but hostility toward black immigrants has intensified in recent years. Even tourists can feel out of place, often describing the experience as being constantly watched or treated differently. Despite Israel's rich culture, historic landmarks, and global importance, these deep-rooted racial issues have earned it a spot on this list. For black travelers, visiting Israel can require extra caution, patience, and awareness. Number 6. Ukraine. Ukraine may be known for its cultural heritage, historic architecture, and scenic landscapes, but when it comes to racial tolerance, it consistently ranks among the lowest in Europe. Black travelers and African students have reported alarming incidents, including being denied access to buses, trains, and other public transportation. Imagine trying to board a train only to realize it's leaving without you, not because of timing, but because of your skin color. Ukraine's lack of diversity and limited exposure to different cultures has contributed to widespread discrimination. Black visitors often report hostile stares, verbal harassment, and exclusion in everyday situations. Walking through city streets or accessing basic services can feel intimidating. These experiences have made Ukraine a difficult destination for black travelers, despite its historical and cultural appeal. While Ukraine offers beautiful landmarks and a rich past, the racial climate makes it a country many black people may want to reconsider before visiting. Number 7. Greece. Greece is famous for ancient ruins, stunning islands, and breathtaking coastlines, but for black travelers, the experience can be far from idyllic. In recent years, racial tensions in Greece have increased, particularly following the migration crisis. African migrants have been hit the hardest, and this hostility often spills over to black tourists as well. Black travelers frequently report feeling unwelcome, especially outside major tourist areas. While places like central Athens may feel relatively safe, venturing beyond popular zones can result in uncomfortable encounters. Incidents of verbal abuse, harassment, and even physical confrontations have been reported. These are not isolated cases but part of a broader social issue that has grown alongside increased migration from Africa and the Middle East. Greece remains a dream destination for many, but for Black travelers, navigating the country can feel like walking on eggshells. This growing racial tension places Greece firmly on this list. Number 8. Italy. Italy is celebrated worldwide for its art, food, fashion, and history, but beneath the beauty lies a troubling reality for many Black travelers. The country has seen a 35% increase in racially motivated crimes, particularly targeting African immigrants. This rise in racism has also affected Black tourists, who often report feeling unwelcome in public spaces. From restaurants and cafes to shopping areas and tourist attractions, Black travelers describe experiencing cold stares, microaggressions, and at times open hostility. Even iconic locations like the Colosseum or Venice canals are not immune. Italy's racial tensions are influenced by political rhetoric and long-standing immigration issues. African immigrants have been scapegoated in public discourse, and unfortunately, Black visitors sometimes face the consequences of that sentiment. Despite Italy's undeniable beauty and cultural influence, these growing issues make it a challenging destination for Black travelers seeking a relaxed and welcoming experience. Number 9. China. China's rise as a global economic powerhouse is undeniable, but racial attitudes within the country have not evolved at the same pace. Black travelers and African expatriates frequently report being stared at constantly, treated as spectacles, or subjected to discriminatory behavior. In some cases, Black people have been denied service in restaurants, hotels, or shops, especially outside major cities. Much of this behavior stems from cultural misunderstandings and limited exposure to racial diversity. Outside of cities like Beijing and Shanghai, Black people are often seen as rare or unfamiliar. Despite China's diplomatic ties with African nations, social acceptance at the everyday level remains limited. This disconnect leaves many Black travelers feeling uncomfortable and isolated. China offers incredible landmarks like the Great Wall and bustling urban centers, but for Black visitors, the lack of inclusivity can overshadow the experience. Number 10. Russia. Russia closes out this list due to its long-standing and well-documented issues with racism. Black travelers in Russia frequently report experiencing racial slurs, harassment, and even physical violence. These incidents are especially common in smaller towns where diversity is almost non-existent. Far-right nationalist groups have contributed to an environment where Black people may feel unsafe simply walking down the street. African students and tourists have been targeted in racially motivated attacks, particularly in major cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg. While Russia is home to world-class art, literature, and iconic landmarks such as the Kremlin and Red Square, these cultural achievements do not outweigh the safety concerns many Black travelers face. The underlying racial tension can turn what should be an exciting trip into a stressful and potentially dangerous experience, placing Russia firmly among the least welcoming destinations. These are the top 10 countries where Black people are not welcomed. This video isn't meant to discourage travel, but to inform and prepare. Knowing where challenges exist allows Black travelers to make safer, smarter decisions and avoid unnecessary risk. If you've experienced any of these countries firsthand, or if you have tips for fellow travelers, share them in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to World Revealed, and turn on notifications for more real, unfiltered travel insights. Safe travels, and see you in the next video.